Hey guys, how's it going? It's Smalls, and in today's video we are going to be doing my very first sketchbook tour. My dog did get a hold of this sketchbook, so that's why it's a little messed up, and that's why there's a rubber band holding it in place. But before we start this video, I just want to say thank you guys for 100 subscribers. After 2 years, I finally hit that goal, and I really just want to thank you guys for all the people watching that support me and like all my videos and really give me some great feedback. But other than that, let's get straight into it. Hey guys, so here's my sketchbook. So I want to talk about the stickers real quick. So this one my cousin gave to me, this one my cousin's friends gave to me, and then these two I got from a local vendor that when I went to an event. This little like ticket looking thing I made myself, and then this was from a school that I got accepted into. I really don't want that glare there right now. And then the back, the drum, the ball, the sword, the cap, and the guitar I made myself. And then this one my graphic design teacher gave to me. This one I honestly don't know where I got it from, but for these I will put their Instagram handles up on the screen right now. But other than that, let's get straight into it. But let me move the sketchbook out of the camera because the back actually ended up falling out, and there's a few pages on here that I don't want to spoil. So first off, we got my name, super simple. I wanted to mess with some typography, that's why it's like this. It's supposed to be an E. And then over here, this sketchbook took me about a year and a few weeks to finish. Nothing too bad, but it's definitely my longest sketchbook. Most sketchbooks on average take me about like 6 to 7 months. But I really like this opening, like this first page. The second page is empty, just in case this one got torn out. I can just like replicate it on here, but it definitely feels a lot weirder compared to the other pages. So this is my first drawing on this sketchbook. Personally, I actually really like this. I definitely did improve to, like, if we compare my last few sketches to this one, I do feel like I improved, because I mean, if you guys can tell, I put my hands in pockets like all the time, and then like the background, the mountains look really off, and this was the only like sketch or drawing in which I used 2 pages, so it's not too bad. But I really wish I did more, but maybe I'll do more on the new sketchbook and see if I ever make a video on it. Now the next page is when a friend saw that I had a sketchbook and they wanted to draw on it. I was cool with it. Their name was Delilah, really cool person. I still talk to them, and they ended up drawing on this page and the back. I never erased it because I thought it was cool. The very next page, I like doing industrial drawings, and I really like the effect, or like the little like sketch lines or cross hatching that I do on the clouds. They look really nice. So this one was from a notebook that I had for class. I just cut it out, and then over here, I forgot what I did here. Well, I drew this, and then that's when I like glued this one on, and then a few more like doodles, I guess. Next page. Wait, is that okay? That is the next page. Next one is just a drawing of a character. I really wanted to mess with like color pencil. I wanted to add more color into my sketchbook, so I really think I did a really good job, though the glasses do look a little off, but I really do like this drawing. I think with the shirt and the pants, I used like different blues and different oranges, and it came out really nice. Now this next one is an unfinished drawing. There's a few of these on this sketchbook, and this was supposed to be this like really cool action scene, but it looked way too 2D, I guess, and I just ended up scrapping the entire thing. I really wish I could do like perspective and stuff. I really want to practice that, maybe in my new sketchbook. Now this next one, so originally this sketchbook was supposed to be for my graphic design class, but my teacher told me that I was too small. I had to be like an 8x11 or an 8x14 like sketchbook, or somewhere around the lines. And well, this was like my first, I guess, true sketch for that class, and my teacher didn't like it because he doesn't like it when you use a name, like your name, as part of the restaurant. So I just ended up scrapping this. The page does like look really empty though. This one, I wanted to do something with like perspective and the guitar, but if you guys can't tell, the perspective is like super off. It looks super weird, so I just ended up scrapping this. It didn't come out like good whatsoever, at least in my opinion. Next page. So I remember this one. A friend gave me a sticker similar to this style of character, and I wanted to replicate it because it was really cool. And I just put some like lyrics. It's a song by Queen, Keep Yourself Alive, and I really like how they did their character. I will show that sticker maybe in the next video where I show off my new sketchbook. Oh, this one I remember this too. I had listened to a song that had like I guess the background or the album cover had this like design on it, and it was really cool, so I decided to replicate it, and it came out really good. Though I wish the clothes came out a little bit better and they look a little too dark. I used black on the orange because I thought it was too bright, but I think one of the main things that I really like about this sketch is the background and the text. I really like the text. So this, I used a pen to make it like look 3D or make it look like it was floating, and I think it came out really good. Next one, so this was around I think September, because this was almost gonna be October, and I like doing, I guess, scary drawings. But the thing is, a lot of my like Halloween themed drawings aren't really that scary, but I like drawing things like that. And then this one, so a friend drew me in class and I really wanted to replicate that style, but his was a little bit more realistic. I'll put his drawing up on the screen, like on this side, and I mean his came out really good, and I just really wanted to replicate how he did that. And this is how this came out. It doesn't look that bad. I just wish I didn't include the text. It looks just so off center because the S is down here and then this S is all the way up here. So this one was actually when October started, because I remember it was like I think October 1st, and I thought I was gonna do Inktober, but I didn't end up doing it. But in this one I decided to challenge myself by not using fine liners. You can see the outline is colored pencil. I really like the gradient that I did here though. I really like messing with colored pencils a lot of the time, and I think I did a really good job. It doesn't look too messy, which is something that I do a lot with colored pencil. Another scary drawing. This doesn't really have a lot of meaning. A lot of drawings on this sketchbook don't have a lot of meaning, or I guess like, yeah, they just don't have a lot of meaning. So this one is like alright. This one I really didn't like. I remember this was supposed to be an unfinished sketch, but I just inked it last minute to see if it would look better, but no, it did not. This one did come out good though, at least in my opinion. I really like how I just incorporated the red. It looks really nice, and it really stands out too. But let me blur this because I don't want YouTube to take me down though. I'm just joking with y'all. This one was another unfinished sketch. This was only really unfinished because of the top. I really didn't like how that came out. I really don't know why you didn't erase it, because I mean I think the rest really looks good. It was supposed to be this like under the sea drawing. I really like drawing things like industrial things or like wildlife and stuff like that. I also like drawing cityscapes too. You'll see more of those in a little bit. This one was another finished sketch. I really didn't know what to draw, and I kind of wanted to like draw something that day, so I just drew whatever, and that's why it's not inked. I really didn't like how this came out. This is also unfinished. I used to draw these little like things when I was like smaller, and I decided to see if I could replicate that style where I just like draw random stick figures doing something like in a fight scene or whatever, and this is how they came out. I mean, I really didn't know what else to add. That's why there's like this like dark line of pencil, this like dark outline of pencil. I really didn't like how this came out either. Another unfinished sketch, but now looking back on it, it does look pretty cool. I mean, I might ink this after this video, but I really wish I had added a little bit of color to this. I think this would have looked a lot nicer. Oh, okay, we got more music themed drawings. So, okay, so this is the first of many music themed drawings. This was a song that I had on repeat for like a good 4 months, and it's called Red Room by Hiatus Coyote. I think that's how you say it. I really like this drawing. I just really wish I didn't incorporate this like liquid over here. It was supposed to represent blood, but now looking back on it, it really doesn't look good. I really wish I didn't incorporate this, because I mean the rest of the drawing looks nice. And then a little doodle. I was really bored, so I was just drawing random things. Cause I think I saw a video of someone doing a doodle. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to do one. So I really like this one because of the colors. I mean, I really think I did a good job with the like the line work. It came out really good. I guess another little doodle. So this one was originally just supposed to be the person with the like little music notes, but it looked super empty. So I tried to incorporate different shapes and different little like doodles. And it didn't come out bad. I mean, at the time I really didn't like it, but I think like a few days later I actually liked it a little bit more. I think it looks perfect like that. And then the cityscape, I really like drawing things like this. I mean, obviously this does look 3D because I mean, I don't really know a lot about dimension, but I really like how I did this. The clouds always look so off. I did change how I drew my clouds later on in the sketchbook, but like very late into the sketchbook. But I really like how this came out. This one, I like guitars, so obviously I wanted to make a drawing about a guitar, and this was supposed to be a bass guitar. That's why the person doesn't have a pick, they're using their fingers. And I mean, personally, it was a good drawing, but I mean, you can see that the guitar kind of looks weird and the person doesn't have a face because I didn't really want to bother with it. But I mean, it doesn't look too bad, but there's a little bit of white space. There's a lot of white space in a lot of these drawings. This one, I also challenged myself again by not trying to use a fine liner. It looked good, but I really wish I didn't use the gray. It looks super dirty and super messy. It looks super dirty and it looks super messy as well. And you can see that some of the color actually transferred onto this page. I really like how I did the cargos though. That does look super nice. The tie does look weird though. Another cityscape, but this one's destroyed and a bit more 3D. I feel like the proportions are still off. I feel like the road, like this horizon line shouldn't really be there. But I mean, this looks pretty dope. I remember I posted this on my Instagram. I was really proud of this. And I really like the like cross hatching that I put on the like little smoke. It looks really dope. I really like when I do that. Oh wait, that is not the next. Oh wait, that is the next page. Alright, this one is also unfinished. I didn't know what to draw that day and I really felt like drawing, so I just drew whatever. I didn't like how it came out, so I just left it like that. And then this one, I mean, I like music a lot, and this was another music themed drawing, and I was supposed to kind of represent like music kind of like taking to another world. And I really don't like how I use the marker. I mean, I hate seeing the streaks. I thought it was gonna come out a little bit nicer, but it didn't. But I mean, this was like another music themed drawing that I really did like. But I did also replicate this. I like recreated it and I think it came out much better. So this one, we were supposed to create talisman for class, and I was basically missing one. We were supposed to create 3 different sketches and I only created 2, and this was my other one. And I just had to take a picture from my phone and just transfer it to, I think, Photoshop or I think Illustrator. I'm not too sure, but I really wish I had centered this. It does look nice. I think I inked it with a ballpoint pen because I was in class and I don't take my fine liners to school. I just asked someone for a pen. They gave it to me. Another theme, like music theme drawing. So this is a song by Duran Jones and the Indications called Is It Any Wonder? I really wanted to replicate like the style that they had on their album cover. I'll probably show it right here if I don't forget. But I really like the effect with the like lines, like the little, I guess, groove lines with the blue, the black. It came out good, but I think like right here, I really hate how I messed up right there. It was supposed to come out a lot better. And then right here, I was supposed to put the artist's name, but it looks a little bit slanted, so I never try to fix it. I just left it like that, and I think it looks nice like that, to be honest. And going back to this real quick, I really like when I fill the whole page with like color or a sketch. It looks really nice. I really hate when there's a lot of empty space. I'm always never using my empty space or my white space. So this one was, I really like the album cover for Highway to Hell for AC/DC, and I really like I think it was the lead singer that was dressed up this way, and I really like this design. But when I drew it, obviously there was a lot of white space, so I'm like, you know what, I'll just add its logo right here. Looks super nice. I really like how it did like the little like cross hatching on the like, I guess, the darker parts, and then I messed with more typography right here. It came out really nice. This one, I really like to create characters that have a lot going with them. So for example, like they have patches all over. It doesn't look like as empty or as bland, and I really like when I do that. And I mean, I think it came out really good, but I really hate how I always do this. Like every time they're holding something, they're always holding it to the side. They're never holding it forward. I really hope I can get better with perspective. This one, another unfinished sketch. So this one was supposed to be like another music theme drawing, but it really didn't come out good because when you look at the people, they are like stick figures, and then this guy over here is a little bit like more 3D. So I just didn't end up doing anything with that. And then we got a little doodle. I remember I did the little doodle first and I was just like, damn, it still looks a little empty. I was gonna use color, but I'm like, nah. So I did this like a little river doodle, and I colored the rest, and I only colored a few of the doodles in the river, and I really like how that came out, to be honest. Like there's still like a little bit of white space. Oh, one of my favorite drawings on this sketchbook. So I remember I saw a video whenever you're working with like ballpoint pen, If you ever mess up, you can just put a sticky note. And I really like how this came out. I didn't even mess up here. I just really wanted to incorporate the sticky note, so I just glued it on there. And I mean, I didn't use a pencil sketch, so this is all ballpoint pen. I really like the color, like the splashes of color. And I just created a character with different pieces of clothing, accessories, and stuff like that. Another doodle, but this one, though I did ink it, I did not like it. I really wish this stayed unfinished, because I also tried to incorporate more sticky notes, and I glued these down. And then this is like mixed media paper. I don't want to show the back, but you can kind of tell the paper kind of struggles to fold, because this is actually like really thick paper. The orange and the blue are like really thick paper, and I really didn't like how this came out. I mean, I like the little like basketball thing over here, and then the shoe, and then the little like food right here, the sword, but the rest is kind of just trash. And then right here, I try to mess with, or not mess, I try to use references. I don't use references in drawings, but whenever I do, like, it just never comes out well. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try to draw hands, try to get better at them. And to be honest, I think the only ones that I don't like are this one, the one with the pink, and the one with the orange. But I really like how I added these splashes of color. It just adds a little bit more to the page. And then on the side it says, I hate drawing hands, just because there's like a lot of white space there, so I don't want to like leave that out here. So originally this was supposed to be like me messing around with acrylic, and at first, like, I do the character, but I'm like, I want to add a splash of color, but I want to see how acrylic kind of takes on the paper. And okay, without showing the back, I added like a mixed media like piece of paper in the back. I should have just done the whole page in this, and like, instead of like this whole shape, I should have just done the whole page. But if you guys can see right here, when I try to tear this off, I noticed that the acrylic didn't really go through or bleed through. So I was just like, damn, okay, I gotta try this out again. And I really like how this drawing came out. I mean, I like how I did the hands, to be honest. I think this was also another reference from Pinterest, like the character itself or the pose. And then the next drawing isn't finished, but for some reason, every time I look back, I always like to look at the watchtower. It just looks so good for some reason. And I mean, the sketch itself doesn't look too bad. I mean, I like drawing things like this, like industrial things. And I mean, the watchtower just looks super nice. Maybe I'll do one like that again and try to do better at it. And then this one, I try to mess with, like, I guess, like positions of the face or like side profiles and stuff like that. And I mean, they came out alright. I don't think I used references for this, and I didn't really want to bother inking them. It was just like a little study. Over here, I try to mess with the pose. I think I did a lot better than I expected. So this is supposed to be a chair, but it kind of looks like he has his palm on the chair itself, and he's not really like holding onto it. Like, he's not doing this. It kind of just looks like he has his fist, like his hands aren't going over. But I really like how I added the special color. It just added a little bit more liveliness to the sketchbook. Oh, I remember this one. So I try to like make my sketchbook more beefy. So I try to add my signatures that I did for class. But once I glued them, the sketchbook was way too thick. So I tore them out. But when I did, you can kind of see, like, I don't know if you can see my finger go through, like right here. Most of this got torn out, but this is like, this part of the page still stayed intact. So when I saw it, I'm like, hey, that kind of looks like Sonic. So I painted it, but it looks kind of dumb, to be honest, not looking back on it. But yeah. So the next page, I also did this one in class. I was bored, and it's kind of funny how the pot looks 2D and then the rest is kind of like supposed to be 3D. And I was just messing around. I was bored. I didn't know what to do. Originally I drew the character first, but I'm like, no, that looks too empty, so I just did the rest. I really like how I did this, like the fencing and the brick wall over here. Looks really nice. This one was the first video I ever made with my sketchbook, and it came out really well. I really like how I did that thumbnail too. And I'm surprised, like the, oh wait, I don't want to show that, but I basically already am. You can see that the like page kind of frayed a little, but it took the acrylic paint really well, because I remember I put so many layers of brown here. I didn't know what color to use, and I'm surprised it really did that well. I really like the splash of blue right here. It looks a lot less empty, and this looks weird now looking back on it, but I still like it. This one, so I added a like mixed media paper on top. So I did a drawing I cut it to the exact dimensions of the page, and I use acrylic. This is supposed to be watercolor paper, but I use acrylic and watercolor right here. I don't know if you guys can tell, there's a lot of black splashes around here. So I used a waterproof, or a water-based pen, and well, it kind of ruined the whole thing. Not a lot, you can barely tell, but I mean, I really like how this came out, and this is really thick, like this is really holding up. This one I was also boarding class, but this one I did in my government and science class, and I was like super bored because I had finished all my assignments and I didn't have anything to do. So I was just like, well, actually let me come up with something, and this is what I did. And I used highlighter right here, and I still remember someone complimented me with this drawing, and I was just like, oh, thanks. It was kind of awkward because it was just like, he was kind of like looking over, especially when you have a sketchbook, you always have like people looking over your shoulder or whatever. And this one, my friend wanted to draw again because we stayed after school. So she was just like, oh, let me use your sketchbook, because she saw that I had it. So I was just like, yeah, you can draw on it. But this time she didn't draw on the back. But I really like how she draws her things. And then over here, another doodle. Now I don't know if I was in class for this or I was at home. I really don't remember, but I really like how he like messed with everything. It's not like my other doodles where I kind of like make a shape already. Like for example, that river doodle that I did just a few pages ago. And I mean, I really like how this is because the page got all filled up. I was thinking of adding color, but I just decided against it last minute. And then over here, I use crayons for this. Every once in a while, like very rarely, I'll use crayons. And I use no fine liner for this. And you guys can see I kind of try to outline this with crayon. I really like how this came out. I really like the texture that the crayon leaves, especially on textured paper. I hate using like smooth paper, like printer paper. But this page was a little bit textured, so I really like the effect that it left on. And I really like the outline that I did with the like crayons. You can see the pencil here. I tried to erase it, but most of it didn't try to erase. But I really like this drawing a lot. And then this one, so I was trying to come up with sketches and supposed to come up with sketches for my profile picture that I currently have. So I'll probably add my profile picture right here on this page. And well, I try to replicate something. I really wanted a rough profile picture because I think whenever it comes to profile pictures on YouTube, I think you really have to be unique with it just so it can be memorable. And I try to do something like that, and I just ended up tracing myself on Illustrator. But these are some of my sketches that I did, especially on this page too. I try to do like sketches. I really like how this one came out. It was smooth, but I think all these other ones were a little bit rough with sharp edges, but they came out all right. I really wanted to try this one, but when I tried to try it out, it just didn't really come out well. And then here's obviously my YouTube name, and then my name. I was really bored. I was just like, I'm just gonna write my name. I think originally this was supposed to be my other logo, I think, because I know I have a circle and a rectangle right in front of my logo. And then here, this one I remember took like months to finish, just because I had like no motivation to do so. So I started drawing this because at the time I was listening to a lot of like funk music. And well, this is how this came out. I really like how I did the text. I like how there's no color there, but I really like the psychedelic effect that it has. You can kind of see it's a little bit 3D. I really like this. I did continue to work on other pages while I was still finishing this, but I recently finished it. I think back in June I finished it, but it took me so long because I would do one part and then just stop, or do one part and then do another part, but then get bored. So yeah, it's always good to take some breaks in between. And then this one is also unfinished. I remember I didn't want to mess with this yet, so I was just trying to draw something. It came out alright, but I just didn't really like how it came out altogether. I mean, I'm always drawing astronauts and stuff like that, where I used to, but I really didn't like how this came out. Okay, I don't know why I inked this. This is looks really dumb. I was supposed to draw a animal dressed as a person or acting like a person, and this is how this came out. But I really don't like how it looked, especially with the floor. Looks alright and the page is super empty. I really don't like how that turned out. Another drawing where I used no fine liner whatsoever, and I went pretty hard with the outline this time, and it looks a lot darker. It looks a lot nicer. I like it better than the first sketch. Well, actually, I think it was the second one. Well, this is definitely my favorite drawing that I did with just colored pencils. I really wish I went smoother on the outline for the gate though. It came out alright, but I really like how I did the mountains. If you guys can't tell, you can see like the back mountains a little bit darker than the front ones. This one's like a little like, I guess I think I used brown and a little bit of like yellow or like golden yellow here, and then here I just went like super light with the colored pencil. But I really like that effect, and the trees look really nice. I like when I do that. And then this one, another drawing I was like just trying to draw that day, and I really don't like how like it looked. I don't know why I inked it, but I mean, I learn from my mistakes, so I know when to like ink and not ink something. This one was strictly a ballpoint pen drawing. So at first I drew this random shape, but I'm like, okay, I don't know what to draw. But for some reason I'm like, that kind of looks like a bra, to be honest. And I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna draw like a woman here. And then I like the effect that I did here, but I was gonna do it throughout the entire page, but I'm like, no, that's gonna take too long. I'm just not gonna bother. Maybe I will come back to this later on, but this is definitely gonna stay in my closet for like a good few months. Because I mean, I have all my sketchbooks in my closet, and they stay there for a while till I remember them and, you know, look back on them. This one, I really like how I did this, but once I started coloring it, I knew how much of a pain in the to be. But you can see it. I really like this effect, but once I started doing the clothes, I'm like, it just looks super flat. I mean, I really like how I did this thing up here, and I didn't go like super dark or like super like thick with the outline. I went really thin with this. I really like how that came out. But yeah. Oh, another cityscape. I really like how I did this. Originally it was just supposed to be these two like people, characters, however you want to call them, in front of them, but I was just like, it looks too bland, so I'm gonna draw a cityscape. It looks super dope. I really like when I do these like break effects. I think this drawing was just like, okay, I gotta do more of those. But I really like how it came out. I wanted to color it, but I didn't know if it was gonna come out good or not, so I was just like, you know what, I'll just leave it as that. This one, so my favorite band, if you guys saw that, is Any Wonder Drawing. They are my favorite band, Duran Jones and the Indications. They are a really good band, and I try to replicate something like that in a drawing, and it came out alright. Damn, there's still like eraser like shavings in here. I never like cleaned my sketchbook, but it came out alright. I mean, the singer came out good, the background came out alright. I really didn't like how I did that, and I really kind of got lazy with the name because I put Paula and the whatever, because the band is Duran Jones and the Indications. This one, so I tried to do another space drawing. I was looking back on my sketchbooks and I noticed that I did a space drawing, so I'm like, I'm gonna try to replicate that. It came out good, but I really wish I went better with the like galaxy or the space thing on the back, because it's just all black. So I really wish I did better with that. So this is the drawing that I like redid back in, let me see if I can find it. This one. So this is like the replication of that. It came out a lot better. I really like the little border. I even signed this thing. You can see RC3, so I am third in my family. And I really like how I did this gradient. It didn't come out really good because I just used Crayola pencils as some off-brand color pencils that I have, and it came out alright. Not alright, it came out really good. I really like how this came out. I just wish I drew better like clouds. I always do the exact same like clouds, or like the clown design. It's always the same for all my drawings. Little Doodle, I remember this was like late at night. I was listening to some music and I was just like, okay, I really want to draw. I think it was like 10 or 10:30 p.m. and I was just really bored. So I mean, it was a really chill like drawing session, to be very honest with you. Another doodle. So on a bigger page, on a mixed media piece of paper, I did like random squares on that large piece of paper, and I try to do a drawing every single day, but that didn't really quite work out so well. After like a week, I stopped doing that. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it smaller in scale, and I think I did really good with it. It looks really nice without color. I think if I added color, it would still look nice. Like, it looks really cool. So this one isn't really a drawing. It's more like, I really like this one song, Can I Call You Rose by The Sacred Souls, and I just left the text on there. I was gonna do so, I wanted to like color and do more designs, but I think it just looked super cool, simple. You know, I didn't want to like do something super complicated. For this one, I was out of town and I was the first one up, so I was just drawing it up because I was really bored and my parents weren't even home. They went to like go play golf or something, or I think they went to go buy food, I'm not too sure, but I was really bored, so I just decided to draw that. This one, so you guys can't really tell, but I try to use marker and colored pencils, but if you look at the top, the like marker was tearing off the page, so I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop working on it. But I really like how I did the like shorts. I mean, obviously the shadows might be a little off because they're like all over the place, but I think it came out really good for the amount of things that I put on it, for the amount of effort that I put on it. This one I did trace. This is supposed to be Brian May from Queen, the guitarist, and I wanted to ink it, but I'm like, it just looks cool like that, and I don't want people to think that like I did it myself, so I just didn't really do anything with that. But I think this was during summer, so I mean, I don't think anybody would have really questioned it. This one, so I drew the character, it looked really bland, so I tried to do like random shapes. It didn't really come out good. It came out a lot worse than expected, but if you guys look here, I kind of messed up with the line work. So I was kind of mad about that. Like, I was just like, damn, I really messed up. This one, I honestly, this doesn't really have a lot of meaning to it. I was just bored. I was trying to draw some new original characters, but didn't really come out as I expected it to come out. But I mean, it is what it is. We can't really do much about it anymore. This one, I try to draw little like spaceships, like different like shaped, or like try to do different designs of spaceships. I really wish I inked this. I'll maybe ink this after this video. I was supposed to ink it, but I just forgot. And then this one, oh, this was like one of my top drawings as well. So I really like how like opaque the colored pencils are. They're not like super light. I really like how I did the shoes. The shape in the back is not too crazy, and I mean, the guy just looks super dope. I mean, I really like how I did that. I even added a little piercing. And every time I draw characters, I always draw this like triangle nose, and I always draw pink. It's super cool when I do that. I think that just adds to like, I think that's the one like, I guess, like mark that I put on my characters to know that they're mine, to kind of differentiate like other characters from other characters from other artists. There you go, that's the thing that I was trying to say. This one, I try to mess around with characters not being in the middle and different poses. It came out okay, but I really wish it came out alright, but I really wish I didn't do this like design with the ballpoint pen. Or I think this was a gel pen, I don't remember. But another music theme little doodle. So I drew like some bands, so Queen, I think I wrote Aaron Fraser somewhere, or that's him. I wrote different genres that I listen to, different instruments that I always see in music, and I think it really came out good. I really like how I did this, and I did this in crayon, and I really like the effect that crayon leaves on the paper, especially when the paper's textured. Alright, next page. This one came out good, but I really wish I did something with the background. I tried to do something with the background, but I just couldn't think of anything, so I just left it like that. I mean, the guy just looks really cool, or dope. And oh, I thought it was supposed to be like a drawing like this. And then this one was just a random doodle. I saw a YouTuber do this type of design. I think you guys might know her. I think her name is like Karina Singh or Sai. I don't know how you say it, but she really did this, and I tried to do a gradient with crayons instead of colored pencil, like how she does it. And then little doodle, not super complicated drawing in the back. There is a lot of white space, but I mean, it's just balloons. I really like how I just drew one face on it. Look, it came out really good. Okay, next page. So this one, I was drawing something and it looked really bland, so I just drew this like little light post, and I tried to do like a little border with ballpoint pen. It came out good, except the top here, it's like these lines go on for so long, and some of these go on for like so little. This one, my Tombow brush pens were running out, so I just put the pen on the paper, and I was just like going around to see like what I could create. And to be honest, I really wish I had colored them, I guess, because I mean, this kind of looks like a horse, this kind of looks like a face, this kind of looks like a stone head. I mean, I really wish I had gone ahead with this, because I think I could have come up with some great ideas. Maybe I'll do this for a video, to be honest. And then over here, I did the exact same thing, but with receipts. I was trying to come up with something different, and I mean, it came out really cool, because I mean, there's different shapes. I did the exact same thing that I did on this page, but I actually colored them this time, and it came out really cool, except this like little thing. Originally I was just supposed to like paint random things, but I really like how this came out. Then this, I was trying to mess around with like real like life drawings, I guess. I think that's what they're called, or real in like IRL drawings. Damn, I really can't speak today. But I mean, it came out alright. I mean, you can see that this line kind of like bends for so much, and then these are a little bit more straight. This one is also pretty like a favorite of mine, just because I did like different shapes, different characters, and different positions, because this one's like at the top, so if I flip it the correct way, he's like upside down. I really like how I use the colors too, they look really nice. I use some like pastel colors, I guess. I don't know if they would be considered pastel though. Sorry I keep on like not talking about the page because I got a mosquito bite on me. And then there's another real life drawing, really cool. I was watching Adventure Time and I was just drawing like what I saw. That was in my sister's room because I don't have a TV. And then this, I was bored, so I just pulled out some acrylic paints and I just drew in different like directions of lines. This one I also try to do more real life drawings, but I mean it just looks like the guy's way too close to the mirror. Like, step back a little, bro. And then I'm trying to go a little bit quickly here because I only got like 5 minutes left of recording space. And then this one I try to do the exact same thing of real life drawings. I like the pencil sketch better though. I really wish I hadn't inked it. It looked a lot better with pencil. Another reference from Pinterest, I try to do like this one pose. It came out alright, but it's just the face couldn't really come out. I hate drawing faces. This one, okay, so this is when I started experimenting with clouds, like different shapes and everything. I really like how I did the gradient on the like shirt. It came out really good. I just wish I did from bottom to top instead of top to bottom. Even on the sky I tried to do it, but it didn't come out as good just because the clouds were in the way. But I really like how I did this. I even like the face, the hair. I really like how I did that drawing. Watercolor drawing, I had noticed that I didn't really mess with a lot of watercolor, and I did mess with, like, I did use a lot of acrylic paints but not watercolor, so I did this. It came out really good. You can see like the texture. I like the texture that I left. I really like the texture that I left though. I have really cheap like watercolor paints, so for what it was, it came out really good. Another scenery, I really like how this came out, but obviously I hate how it's super flat over here and more three-dimensional over here. And I did leave the pencil sketch underneath because I thought it looked really nice, because the pencil sketch did look nice. This one I was trying to create a like character really tall, and I think it came out really good. I try to replicate more with the guy with the gradient with the mountain. I think it was this one over here. Yeah, this, like something like this, and it came out alright. And I just accidentally went to the next page, but yeah, it came out really nice. And this, another song, supposed to be a song by Bobby Rosa called Should I Take You Home, I think. And I think this would look great for an album cover, to be honest. Another scenery, I like the other one where I left this pencil sketch underneath. Okay, I only got like 3 minutes left. This one was another video. I think this was like 3 weeks ago that I did this video, and it came out like really good, but I did kind of mess up, so that does kind of suck. There's another life drawing. I really like how I draw the blinds for some reason. I really like how they're not straight, I think is the better way of saying that. But it really came out good. I really like how I did the light and everything. This was my first day of school. I felt like I was really nervous. I was really excited and felt a lot of pressure, but this was really fun. It was a really nice first day of school because I just started college. This one I was watching Adventure Time and I tried to replicate BMO, and it came out alright, to be honest. I really hate how it's off-center and there's so much white space down here. I would have rather had the white space up here. This was originally supposed to be a finished, or not an unfinished sketch. It came out alright. It came out a lot better once I like inked it and like colored it. It looks a lot better. And then over here, so this one I tried to be like more 3D. So at the school I didn't have a laptop like the first week of school, so I had to go to the computer lab. So I was just like, I kind of want to draw a computer, and I really like how I did this like little effect. I purposely missed a lot of these like gaps. Like a lot of those gaps are purposely there. Really like how that came out, to be honest. That looks really nice. Unfinished sketch. I was bored and I was trying to fill up my sketchbook. I was kind of rushing it at this point, but at the same time I wasn't rushing it. So I just drew the Spotify logo because I was listening to a lot of music. But I don't know if you guys can tell, I used colored pencil on this, so it was acrylic and colored pencil. I was gonna do more with this, but I just completely forgot. And then a little doodle. They just got different things on it with like, I guess like a text conversation going on. Oh, this one I try to do like a little challenge. If I can pick up the little sticky where I got a ballpoint pen and I try to draw a character without picking up the pen, but I just like put a sticky note on top of it and I just did like a little doodle. I really like how I did the trash can though. The trash can for some reason looks super nice. And then I did a little more blinds. That kind of looks like ladders though. So this one is another music themed drawing. This is Bad Bunny's most recent album. So I recently listened to it, I liked it, and I just drew it. I really like how I did the sun, the text, but down here it just looks extremely messy. Un Verano Sin Ti is like a really good album. I really liked it. So yeah, that's the title of the album. You guys couldn't tell. And I try to kind of replicate that style that the album cover had. And then over here a little bit more scenery. I looked back on my old sketches and I kind of did something similar to this. And I really like how I did the sun. I really like how it looks on the Bad Bunny album cover. So I mean, I try to replicate that style. This was just rushed. Artist of mine dropped a mixtape and I really liked it, so I just drew it. It's called Green Zone 8 by Green Tea Peng. Green Zone 108 by Green Tea Peng. And I would really recommend to listen to that. But now let's go to the last two pages. So this one, I really like how I did this. It looks really messy. I really like how there's like a lot of dark colors and like light colors. And this was with, I went really rough with the like artwork or like the line work. There you go. And then the end. This was like the last page of the sketchbook, and I thought this was gonna be the end. It came out like good. I just wish I didn't include that text, but I ended up doing this as the last page. Okay, so I only got like a minute left. So thank you guys for watching. That is my sketchbook tour. So I really hope you guys did enjoy this. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and leave a comment down below. This is probably like one of the only sketchbook tours that I'll do for the rest of the year. I already bought my new sketchbook, but I really like how I did everything. The sketchbook itself turned out fine. So my dog did end up getting a hold of it, but that does suck. But I mean, I really like this sketchbook. It came out really good. I'm really proud of a lot of the drawings. There's a lot more meaning in a lot of these drawings, and I really like how this came out. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Show me your with it, iced out teeth. She loves when I'm grinning.
You know I'ma tell you what to do.